in an F-16 that we have, it can sustain 9 Gs in a turn. And so we're going to get to see this guy really do a lot of great things with this airplane. And his wingman, who brought the support airplane in, is actually Indy Bennett. He is from Louisville, Kentucky. He graduated high school at KCD and is now doing great things in South Carolina.
I wish you could have seen the faces of the kids behind us. I turned around when I heard it, and everyone just jumped.
Just look at the afterburner plume on that aircraft. And so he's got over-the-top weather. Matt, he made it, right? So
that's wonderful.
He just did an Immelman, and now he's coming back down. And you will, he's just having a large time. These demo guys are specially trained, as Sully said, to be able to do more maneuvers to show off the full capabilities of the aircraft to the public. You know, at the end of the day, an air show is really all about recruiting, because we want kids that are in the audience today to see this and go, I want to do this. And so hopefully he's able to draw attention in such a way where they're going to want to go take a career in aviation.
I think you got a few adults who are saying, let me in that thing.
I'd go back, and I think Sully would probably agree with me. You know, give us an hour in a dark room with nothing distracting us, and we could get back in this thing and fly it again.
It's incredible that you could remember and deal with that, because you're pulling, what, 9 Gs in this, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying I could handle 9 Gs the same thing. But I could fly it around for sure. But so, you know, we saw Britt do incredible things with her aircraft, but now this guy's doing the fighter version of that. It can't perform like an extra 300 because it's a Mach 2 fighter, but the pilot's having to do the same type of work. Hold on, it's going to get really loud. And he's clipping along about 450, 500 miles an hour. He's got to stay below the speed of sound, or else we go to jail with the FAA. So he's going to take it right to the limit, though, to show you how quick that airplane can ingress and egress a target area and then reposition to come back in on a target area.
Hey, Rob, what's bail like for the FAA? And could we all put some together and see if he wants to blow some windows out in downtown Louisville?
Yeah, we can talk to him about that, yeah. Yeah, Sully, I don't know, man. What do you think we'd have to pay the FAA to let a guy break the speed sound?
I think if we get enough money together and find the right guy, we can probably get with $10,000 maybe.
Okay,
well,
GoFundMe?
Yeah, there you go. That'll work.
Jamie Poppy, who used to run the flight standards here in Louisville, is head of policy now. She's here watching the air show somewhere. I don't know, Jamie, if you're listening, see what you can do for us.
Yeah.
So what would it take for them to break the speed of sound?
Just a little bit more on the throttle. That's all it would, and he could go. So, you know, he's flirting with the speed of sound, but he's not going to break it because he is, you know, a professional pilot. And what you're seeing him do right now is that tight 9G turn.
Ooh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
And what you got to realize is that a fighter doing almost 500 miles an hour just turned 360 degrees inside the radius of the Ohio River. So it shows the incredible maneuverability of an F-16. In a dogfight or dodging a missile or just trying to reposition to attack a ground target, the ability to maneuver like that gives you an advantage that most other airplanes don't have.
You know, I'm sitting here taking in what we're seeing and what we're hearing, and I'm just going to let that play out real quick. Oh my gosh. What I want to know from you is I want you to be very honest. What is that feeling like? When did you fall in love with the F-16? Like, what were you feeling? I
think when I built my first model of one as a kid, right? You know, I don't know. You know, Sully, you can give us your answer on it, but I started off my career in the A-10, and I loved the A-10. And then I transitioned to the F-16, and the first couple of flights of the F-16, I realized how much I enjoyed that just as well.
Is it just because you like the speed? You like
Yeah, the speed, all the different missions that it does, it was an exciting airplane to fly. Sully, I don't know, what about you?
Hey, I tell you, the very first time I flew in the F-16, you're out at the tip. Someone described it as sitting at the tip of a pencil, and you can look down and you can see on both sides below you, the whole airplane is behind you. So you don't see any airplane. You don't see the wings, you don't see the tail, and you're just like floating out there, and you got this monster engine behind you, and it just goes so fast and maneuvers so well, flies so nicely. And I want to throw in there that the paint job on this F-16, if I can talk in a second, is commemorative to the YF-16. That was the first variant of the F-16 ever made when they were competing with the YF-17 for the fourth generation fighter for the Air Force. And so that was the test airplane that they used, was the red, white, and blue paint scheme. So they brought that back, commemorate that for the demo pilot.
Yeah, so one of the things the Air Force likes to do with the demo is heritage. We didn't get to see a heritage flight today because the P-51 wasn't around, but commemorative paint schemes, vibrant paint schemes or paint schemes are things that, are going to just draw more attention and let people see the aircraft. And heritage is an important part of our military tradition, so we try and remember that.
And totally appropriate for Thunder.
Yeah.
In America's 250.
So, what you just saw there was the ability of that airplane to slow down and have what we call a high angle of attack, where he's going straight, but his nose is up really high, but then power himself out of that going straight up. The F-16 has a greater than 1-to-1 thrust to weight ratio, so what that means is it can actually accelerate going straight up. Not in a combat configuration, but in a demo configuration for sure. And so he was able to show, he can just accelerate going straight up.
So it's a rocket.
It is a rocket. And, we talked about, Sully talked about sitting on the end of the pencil. What they teach you, what years of flying fighters, what they teach you is that you're not strapping into the airplane, you're strapping the airplane onto you.
Oh, wow.
So the pilot is no longer really, and this guy with his experience, is no longer thinking about, I'm strapping into the airplane. He is flying everything. He is doing the maneuvers, and the airplane's attached to him to allow him to do that. Because it's a mindset that you have to have. And I don't think you ever lose that. Sully, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, I'd agree wholeheartedly, because it's just, once you feel it, it's like you said, it's almost like a second skin. You just put it on and you go do whatever you want to do. That airplane can allow you to fly as high as you want to go, as fast as you want to